Hello, hi, and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Rashadah binti Muhammad Ammar, and I'm from N5MC1101A. And for today, I want to talk about consent. So, did you know that the age of consent in Malaysia is 16 years old? You must be wondering, what is the age of consent? It refers to the legal minimum age of which a person can consent to engage in a sexual conduct. In Malaysia, it is illegal for anybody under the age of 15 to consent to sexual activity, and those who do so being charged with statutory rape and another related crime. Today, I want to talk about how important consent is and why should everyone, regardless of gender, race, or sexual orientation, should apply it in their everyday life. So, the three crucial points that everyone should consider are: what is the meaning of consent, what does consent look like, and why is it important. First, if you want to apply something in our daily life, we should know the definition of it, right? So, consent is a clear, affirmative, and intentional choice made by each party to engage in a sexual activity that has been agreed upon by both parties, basically like a yes. To be more precise, consent is a statement of a wish to participate in an activity of or willing positive cooperation in an act. False threats or intimidation cannot force genuine consent. Consent does not imply silence. A single event of consent does not consider consent for further activities. Know of the circumstances or the nature of the relationship. Consent can be given and revoked at any time. Anything done after consent has been revoked must end immediately. So, consent is split into two parts, which is verbal consent, such as yes or that sounds great, and many more. Non-verbal consent is a way to express willingness without words, maybe like a head nod or a thumbs up. So, now that we know that we can use words or body language as our yes or no, next we should know what consent looks like. Moving on to my next point, it is safe to say that consent is about communication. But for non-verbal consent, it is the use of body language. It is crucial to keep in mind that everyone's body language is special and different. So, relying only on it can be occasionally not accurate. It is your job to question them if you are unsure that your partner is responding with a confident and passionate yes. Just because someone is not physically resisting or verbally objecting to your needs does not mean you can presume that you have their consent. Silence, inactivity, or lack of response should not be understood as consent. Enthusiastic consent can be such as asking, "Is this okay?" to a certain activity. Ensuring there is mutual desire before making any physical contact. And occasionally, checking in with your partner to see if everything is still well. If someone is under the influence of alcohol or drugs, enforcing someone's participation in a sexual activity through threats or intimidation is not consent. Same as assuming you have the go-ahead to perform an act because you have already done so before. Now that we have discussed that, I would like to talk about why it is crucial for us to apply this in our day-to-day basics. Let us move on to point number 3, where we were discussing why consent is important. Relationship improve through communication, honesty, and respect. Respect for oneself and one's relationship is demonstrated by asking for and receiving consent. It's rid of any sense of entitlement one partner could have towards the other. Your sexuality and your body are not someone else's property. Even in a relationship, consent is never assumed and is never implied. The fact that you are in a relationship does not give you the right to engage in any activity with your partner. Sexual activity without consent is basically assault or harassment. Recapping the previous main points I made about how consent is supposed to be clear and what it looks like and why this is the bare minimum in any relationship, whether it is platonic or romantic. Regardless of gender or sexual orientation, both parties must have consent before engaging in any activity. Keep in mind that not saying yes or silence does not grant you the freedom to engage in any activity with anyone, and that no always means no. That is all from me. Thank you for listening.